Hi, Ellie Weber, Kabbalah Guru. Welcome back to my channel. There's so much going on right now. There's so much information pouring out, and I'm trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. This is not like a minor skirmish between Republicans and Democrats. Really, this is Gog and Magog. This is World War III, but it even goes beyond that. This is a profound struggle that's taking place. And the more information you have, the better. I find it to be an evolving consciousness. In other words, where I was yesterday in terms of what I think is going on is different from where I am today. And it moves like this. It's a perpetual educational experience that we're going through. Please take my course. I have a first course. It's going to be followed by another course soon. I'm working on a second course that I think will delve a little more deeply into some basic issues. Come to our live meetings, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, every day except for Shabbos. Come to our evening meetings. We're having an evening meeting tonight. It's Wednesday and Sunday we do meetings at 7:45 Eastern Standard. Everything is in the show more below this video, all my links to my website and all this other things. We are coming into an incredible new age. Please like and subscribe. If you send money, even just a little bit of money, I want to thank the people who have sent money. Man, you really saved me from different forces. This battle is being waged on many fronts. I think there's Torah information from today's Torah portion that's critical to understanding what's going on. I think the story of the Alter Rebbe's Yortzeit was yesterday, and his struggles with Napoleon is no different from what's going on today. It's the same war that we're experiencing. Okay, so please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so I can send you other videos, and let's rock. Today's Torah portion, Moses is coming to Pharaoh, and he's basically starting the plagues. This is also something that's happening now. The white hats are fighting back. This is a gargantuan struggle. I mean, the more I go down the rabbit holes, the more I realize that this is a struggle that essentially begins from our consciousness, from our point of view, in the Garden of Eden story with the reptilians and with the DNA experiment. And this is being continued today with the medical treatment. I mean, this is all, and the enemy has a habit of wanting to be in plain sight. So it puts out information through movies. You know, it's very clear. You can see websites. I mean, it's hiding in plain sight, which is probably the best place for things to hide. In today's Torah portion, Moses goes to Pharaoh and he starts the plagues. The first plague is the plague of blood, where the Nile turns into, red blood, and the Egyptians cannot drink. The Jewish people can drink. They can take a cup and it's clear. And he also starts the plague of frogs, which is, as an old frog catcher, I was obsessed with catching frogs when I was a young man. I can tell you they're pretty slimy creatures, man. You wouldn't want them in your ovens, in your bathrooms, everywhere in your house. They're not so, pleasant to be around. They're very interesting creatures, though, I will say. At any rate, to get to the heart of this whole thing, I'm coming to understand that this is a struggle for dominion of the planet, perhaps beyond the planet. This is a monumental struggle. We are coming into the great age of awakening. We are coming into era of Mashiach. This is the end of the war of Gog and Magog. We are beginning to plague the enemy. You have to follow the Torah portion of the day, I believe, in order to understand the real picture. The Alter Rebbe, who was a reptile fighter who passed away in 1812. He passed into the other realm, but he's very much with us today. Entities, people, tzaddikim, holy people, do not really leave. They just change form. So I'm going to focus on this aspect of learning today. And this is an ongoing thing. Please come to my live course at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be talking about the Torah section and Tanya. We do that every day. I think it's an interesting class. I'm gonna be producing, I'm in the midst of producing a second course, which is going to be more granular in terms of helping you establish a firm footprint to move forward into this great age of awakening. This is a battle that's being waged financially, physically, spiritually, educationally, medically, politically, on all fronts. This is a full-out episode. They say there's more military battles going on underground right now than during World War II. You can see what's going on above ground. If you're engaging your emotions, if you're letting your emotions get the best of you in terms of like watching news items and getting all upset, you're really missing the point. I mean, I'm trying to say this in a gentle way. It's not what this is about. This is an information war, and the battle changes every day. It's not static. The information comes out in drips and drabs. You have to go down certain rabbit holes to find out, to piece together what's really going on. We have Torah as a guide. In Torah today, we are looking at the beginning of the plagues, and Moses is asking Pharaoh to let his people go. And Pharaoh is resistant. Pharaoh says yes, and then he says no. Pharaoh, I would say, is heavily represented, is heavily imbued with hybrid characteristics, I will say, at this point. I don't want to get too mystic because I don't want to lose a lot of people. But you must do your homework, because this is not what Grandma told you it was. I mean, there's a depth to this, and there's a complication to this. This is a monumental struggle that's operating on so many levels. It's mind-boggling, and it's at the same time it's pleasant. I mean, I find the work pleasant. I'm enjoying the struggle. This is a struggle for the planet. This is a struggle for the continuation of the race. This is what we're talking about here. In the Garden of Eden story, reptilian DNA got mixed with human DNA. This is the beginning. This is not like ancient history. This is happening. A similar thing is happening today. And I think, if you put together the pieces of the puzzles, if you think about what I'm telling you, I can't say things openly. This is a war, and I struggled to keep my channel going. I had to abandon my channel that had 8,000 subscribers. So it's you have to be kind of fast and furious here. Anyway, this war that started in the Garden of Eden has not ended. It's an ongoing struggle, and we are battling an enemy that has a lot of technology behind it, that has a lot of money behind it, and I believe there are good guys, there are white hats who understand this and are working very hard behind the scenes. But to think that this is a struggle, and if we just fire a few people, if a few people are taken to Gitmo, everything's going to be okay, is missing the point. This is a monumental struggle for the liberation of the planet. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to go too deep into that right now, but just keep coming. I would say you should come and join my Kabbalah Guru family, our Kabbalah Guru family. We have an information community that's putting the pieces together. We're Jews and non-Jews, people of all different religious backgrounds. There are religious people, there are non-religious people, there are Noahide, there are secular people. I don't make distinctions. I mean, if you want to come to my channel, I hope that you're not from the other side, but we do the best we can with what we have. But this is an ongoing war. This is a monumental, gigantic struggle. It's not going to be over in after I believe after a few days. This is going to take, a long time. I don't want to discourage anybody, because at the same time we are getting help from many different areas, and I truly believe this is the Great Awakening. This is the era of Mashiach, the era of Messiah, but it's not going to be for everyone. And that's a point that the Rebbe made. The Rebbe said that all Jews were going to be liberated during this next battle, this next phase of the war. I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing different pieces. I'm seeing different things, and this is an evolving thing. I don't want to say anything, definitive. There's nothing I can really say that's definitive, because I'm going to receive more information today. It will help me understand. I don't even have words to describe it. I'm going to think of a word to describe what we're involved with here. But it is not, it is not about fear. It is not about being afraid of the enemy. The enemy is dangerous, but we have the goods to work around it. In fact, the enemy did us a big service by imbuing us with this reptilian DNA, because it gives us a strength that as human beings we wouldn't have. This is all a godly plan. This is a godly struggle, and it's going to end up good. Light wins in the end. Evil really destroys itself. Evil is in the process of destroying itself. So do not lose heart. I don't want to go long in this video. I'm just kind of introducing in a peripheral way some of the information that I'm coming across. Just know that, I really think that we need to live with the times. That's what the Alter Rebbe said. And the Alter Rebbe was fighting against Napoleon. He understood that Napoleon was empowered by this dark side. And the dark side, they are magicians. They are master magicians. And they are shapeshifters, and they have power. But the Alter Rebbe said, we have to live with the times, and the times is Torah. We get our strength from Torah and the words, the Hebrew letters, the alphabet. By saying certain things, we are given strength. And by staying away from certain medical treatments, that's also very critical to the plan. Please God, you got saline. There will be cures coming. This is a diabolical, very, strange plan. I believe my courses will help you. I'm designing a new course that will help you deal with it. Stay out of the fear space. Stay in love, stay in hope, stay in information. The information is light. We are bringing light to the planet. We are taking the light of Tohu, the light of this boundless energy that it's somewhat selfish and really self-centered. We're taking that light and we're putting it into vessels of repair. So this is very much, we are going to win this war. Do not lose heart. Washington crossed the Delaware. He saw a guy lighting a menorah candle, and that gave him great hope. The Torah should give you hope. We will defeat Pharaoh. This is a war. Right now, on today's Torah portion, we're starting the plagues against Pharaoh, and I believe that will be echoed in the world. Whether we see it or not is another thing. But today, the plagues begin. We're starting with blood and frogs, and the enemy is going to feel this. They're going to feel pain. They are going to be slowly but persistently removed by freedom fighters. And you are now, if you're listening to this, you're already a freedom fighter. So we're on the same page. I'm going to keep this short. Come to the live meeting. There's not a lot I can say. If you need to contact me, on a more personal level, my time is limited, but I will do, I could speak more freely maybe with other platforms, maybe on Telegram. Anyway, nothing is really safe at this point, but we're going to get through this and we're going to win big time. So we're attacking now. We're attacking the enemy with the plagues. This is the beginning of the plagues. This Parsha, it ends next week. The plagues end next week, and it ends with leaving Mitzrayim. And this is the key point to all of this in this ongoing struggle. We have to leave the narrow place. We have to leave the place of constrictions. We have to leave limitations. And most of all, we have to leave fear. If you find yourself in the fear space, take a deep breath, read a little Torah, read some Tanya, get into the Yom Yom, go to Chabad.org, check out my other videos. It's going to be good. We're going into the Great Awakening. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so I can send you other videos. If you could, I would appreciate any donations that you make to the channel are go to good use. I'm not buying Maseratis or Porsches, believe me. We're going to use it in this battle. This is a war, and we're going to win. So may the force be with you, brave soldiers, all. Every one of us has a part to play, and that you are, don't forget that you are the only one in the history of reality that can be you. You are essentially important. You are that missing piece of the jigsaw puzzle. Without one piece of the puzzle, the whole puzzle is meaningless. And so don't be frightened. Don't be scared. Use your time productively. Do not get into, if you can, do not get into worldly pleasures too much. Your time is too important right now. Everyone has to be on guard and has to be learning. If you're not doing something actively to help somebody else, you should be learning, whether it's Torah knowledge or information on Telegram. We all have to be on point, okay? May the force be with you, and God bless.